and get started in Shavasana today. So laying down with your head facing the top of your mat and just take a couple of cleansing breaths. Begin to arrive in your practice. You've had a hectic morning already. Maybe just trying to let go of anything that happened, anything that was worrisome or stressful, anything that you're worried about later in the day as well. Just coming into the space around you, wherever you are, at home or here in the studio, just noticing the walls, the windows, how you're oriented in the room. And then slowly drawing your awareness to the support beneath you, to how your body is positioned, how it's held. Try to find some evenness between the shoulders and the hips. And just notice the breath wherever it is. Beginning to turn inward towards your inner landscape. And maybe just noticing how you're feeling as you start your day, how your body is feeling, if there's anywhere that is speaking to you that's maybe a little stiff or tight. Allowing the breath to begin to soften these spaces. Our practice today is focused on the Reiki principle, just for today, I will not be angry. This is our mantra that we'll be using throughout our practice. And this month, we're exploring releasing anger and fostering inner peace in our mind, our body, and our spirit. And while anger is a valid and common emotion that may arise, it's not the essence of who we are. So, this practice is really inviting us to reflect and respond rather than to react to challenges within our life that may cause an activation of anger. And to meet this activation as a messenger and as a friend that's really telling us if something is out of alignment, if a boundary has been crossed, if there's maybe something we're holding on to that we can take a closer look at. So just noticing as you arrive if there's anywhere within your body that you may be holding on to anger. This could be a past situation, it could be something that happened rather recently. It could just be something that's been there for a while and a sensation that's been kind of causing some tightness, maybe in the shoulders or in the hips. And as we move through our practice, noticing these sensations in our body, even if they're not associated to anger, as we notice the sensations in our body, we begin to build a relationship with our intuition, our body's wisdom. And so, if we draw awareness to the sensations that are arising and learn to reflect and take space to pause and really see what they are, what the message is, we can apply this when feelings of anger or activation arise. So, just keeping that in mind today as you move through your practice. If there's an intention that you would like to set for your practice today, something that you would like to let go of, something that you would like to bring into your day, think about doing that now and just letting that settle in the heart space. We'll begin by just walking the feet in towards the hip, just taking some gentle windshield wiper motions with the knees back and forth slowly here, really feeling into how our hips feel. Sometimes if we sleep funky, we might feel a little stiff on one side. If you find a place that feels a little sticky, maybe pause there for a moment. Just invite it to release. And then walking the feet out towards the edges of the mat. Let the knees fall in towards each other. Just giving a little opening in the outside of the hips here. We don't do a lot of internal rotation with our hips. So this is an opportunity to release kind of that outside edge of our hips. And maybe just place the hands on the belly here and just come into awareness of your breath, just slowly settling in. Feel the space that it's beginning to create as you inhale and the chest and lungs and the belly rise. And as you exhale, think about softening any tension from the belly, from the heart space. Just following the natural flow of breath here. Bringing in our mantra as we begin our practice. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just repeating this mantra to yourself. And as we incorporate this throughout the month or even throughout your practice, coming back to that mantra as often as you like, and just noticing how your relationship changes to the mantra. Maybe at first you're thinking, yeah, I'm not angry. This is great. Or maybe you're thinking, yeah, right, sure, whatever it is, just noticing how and if your relationship to these words shifts throughout your practice today or in the week or throughout the month. And walk the feet in, draw the knees in towards the body, hugging them in tight, and maybe just taking a little rock side to side to massage the lower back. And bringing the legs out long. We'll come into banana asana, walking the ankles over to the bottom right corner of the mat. Cross the left ankle over the right. Bring the shoulders to the top right corner of the mat. Bring the arms to the side and up above the head a little, maybe. Tuck the shoulders in underneath you. You want to make sure that your shoulders are pressed to the mat here. So your hands maybe, or arms maybe, somewhere down lower, or maybe they're up above, whatever's most comfortable for you here. We just really want to try to get the shoulders to the right corner and to create this C shape, this banana shape with our body, opening up the left side of the body and really thinking about expanding, especially in that space between the left hip and the rib cage or even under the arm. And if that sensation comes up a little further into the neck, into the shoulder, that's great. If not, that's okay too. Wherever you're feeling sensation arise, just noticing it, beginning to build that awareness. Anchor that left hip down towards the mat. Let the breath just flow naturally here. Uncross your ankles. Walk everything back through center. Maybe pull the knees in again. Maybe just that left side. Whatever feels good to your body here. Listening really during this practice to what our body needs, what it's asking for. And then we'll move into the opposite side, walking the ankles over to the left side of the mat, crossing the right ankle over the left, and shifting the shoulders over to the top right corner. Bringing the arms to rest, or cactus, that bend in the elbow, arms resting on the earth wherever is most comfortable for you. Taking a couple of breaths to settle in, make any adjustments that you need. Pressing the right hip down to the mat. And then drawing awareness to sensations or feelings that might be arising in the right side of the body, along this long side of the body as we create some space here in the rib cage and in the space between the right hip and the rib cage, maybe all the way up under the arm or into the neck. Maybe you feel it more down through the right leg. Always practicing non-judgment and kindness towards ourselves for whatever arises as we begin to open our hips up a little in this practice. This is often one of those spaces where anger or heavier, dense emotions can rest and kind of get stuck. We tend to hold on to these past experiences and unprocessed emotions in these spaces, the hips and the shoulders. If you feel emotions arise, allow them to flow as much as possible. It's perfectly normal to sometimes cry during yoga, emotional release and a cleansing that happens, and it feels safe for you to just let that happen. Feel free to take that space. This is your time, your container. Be curious. And cross that right ankle from the left. Bring the arms down to the side. Take any movement here that feels good. Maybe a windshield wiper with the knees back and forth or hugging the knees in. And then we'll roll over onto our bellies. And we'll start in Sphinx. So just bringing the elbows under the shoulders or walking the arms out towards the edges of the mat. Wherever feels best to your lower back here this morning. Pressing into the forearms and thinking about bringing the heart space away from the earth and then drawing the shoulder blades together and shining the heart space forward. We're dropping the shoulders down from the ears, drawing the shoulder blades together, resting in with the forearms, our bellies pressed to the earth, breathing here and just connecting to that space of empowerment or space of strength. Sometimes when we feel caught in the emotion of anger, we can feel a little powerless. Or maybe we have a narrative afterwards about shaming ourselves for our anger and for having these emotions, or maybe for the actions that we've taken in moments of anger. So as you connect here to the solar plexus, just think about releasing any of those stories, noticing them if they arise, inviting the space to soften, and maybe just imagining this compassionate energy from the heart space just kind of dripping down into the solar plexus, just a gentle golden light dripping down into that space. And kind of thinking about the icicles hanging off of buildings here in Spokane and how the sun was warming yesterday and just kind of melting those, and thinking about melting away any of that tightness in the belly. And if at any time this becomes a little too intense on the lower back, feel free to lower all the way down to the mat, just crossing your forearms, top. And your next exhale, lower down all the way, just crossing the arms and resting your forehead. Just take a couple of breaths here. Allow that posture to leave the body, the spine, the lower back to soften a little. We'll move into half frog. From this position, maybe placing your left hand on the mat, just kind of using that to press back as you draw that left knee up into that 90-degree angle. You can place a blanket underneath that knee if you'd like for a little bit of support, a little cushion. And then coming all the way back down and just resting your forehead here on the mat or on the arm. Taking a couple of breaths. We don't really need to be pressing our left hip into the mat, just allow the opening of the front side of the hip to gradually happen as you begin to just kind of let go intentionally of any tension that you might be holding, any tightening of the muscles, maybe in the glutes, just seeing if you can soften that area and just begin to slowly surrender towards the earth beneath you. Let it hold you in this space. And think about sending the breath into the front side of the hip. So with each exhale, just allowing it to gently open. We're not forcing here. We're giving space for surrender and for reflection. One of the great things about yin yoga is it offers us in these longer holds space to really reflect and to be with whatever is arising for you, knowing that every time that's going to be different. You may be in this posture one day and nothing happens for you that you think nothing happens, at least. And then the next time there's an emotional release or new sensation. So just meeting that with awareness and letting go of any stories that might be attached to that, just acknowledging them and then asking the body to release that energy. If it's not needed, if it's not for a purpose in this moment, at this time, just letting go. And that left leg back to meet the other one. And we'll move into the other side whenever you're ready. Moving your props if you need them. And then placing that right hand on the side of the mat and just pressing open as you draw that right knee up. And just noticing one side may feel a little more open than the other. There may be a different sensation. And just finding where feels comfortable for that knee. It may be further down or further up on the other side. And once you find where you'd like to be, where you begin to feel that opening or that sensation that may be arising for you, just softly inviting that hip to open towards the earth. In addition to our mantra for our practice, we've also been incorporating an affirmation for the month. And our affirmation here is I release anger with compassion. I am at peace in the present moment. I release anger with compassion. I am at peace in the present moment. That's something you'd like to incorporate. You can repeat to yourself silently. And just notice where that lands in the body. Release the right leg back out long. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Press back, finding tabletop, and we'll take some cat cows. Or maybe bringing your blanket to the mat. Knees stacked under the hips. Wrists stacked under the shoulders. Pressing into the mat with the tops of the feet and through the palms. of the hands. On the inhale, drop the belly, gaze rises, tailbone rises. Exhale, we press through the hands, gaze towards the navel, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, dropping the belly, tailbone rises. Maybe the gaze comes slightly higher this time. Exhale, rounding the spine, rounding the shoulders, broadening in the space, the back side of the heart center. And inhaling back into cow, and then just begin to move through these at your own pace for the next minute or so. Just using this time to create some space for energy to flow and be released, to feel into the edges and the corners of the body. Take any movement that's nourishing here. And come back to a neutral tabletop, and we'll just come into a seated position, whatever's comfortable for you. You can be seated with your legs crossed, or you can sit back on the heels if that's more comfortable. If you'd like to place some support under the knees or under the thighs here, that might be good. Feeling fully supported here, connecting with the base of your spine. Think about lengthening on the inhale. We've just done this little gentle movement to create some space in the spine. So as you rest your base of your spine and your hips on the earth, think about breathing in nourishment and healing from the earth, supporting you here, lengthening the crown of your head towards the sky, reaching. Relax the jaw, let the shoulders drop down away from the ears. Maybe roll them back a little, bringing the shoulder blades closer together and opening the heart space forward. Reconnecting here with any intention that you set for your practice today. Maybe it was just one word. Maybe there's something that's coming forward now. You didn't have any idea of what you wanted your intention to be earlier. Just notice. And if not, that's okay too. We'll take a seated twist. Just circle sweep the arms up overhead, reaching skyward, lengthening through the fingertips. Exhale, bring the left hand to the right knee, right fingertips to the earth, or you can place the palm there if you'd like. Either way, lengthening on the inhale and on the exhale. Maybe drawing the right shoulder back and opening up to that right side a little more, deepening that twist, keeping length in the spine. Really anchor that left hip down. Don't let it come off the mat. If it seems to be drifting away from the mat, maybe lessen the twist a little and let it settle back down. In these twists, we're thinking about connecting with our center of empowerment, coming back to the solar plexus. And really, this is a place for us to find power, find our strength by knowing that we have the ability to alchemize anger or other emotions that arise. We may not have control of the outside circumstances that arise, often we don't, but we do have control over how we respond, and we can learn to have more control and more power in how we respond to situations that are activating. As we connect with this space, see if you can feel the heat building here, even just a little bit, if you connect with the solar plexus. Just envisioning warm energy building here. Maybe it's swirling around. And using this visualization, when you meet anger, to create space, to pause, maybe just for today or just for that moment, you can meet your anger with awareness. And we can use this space to feel empowered and how we move forward, not letting our anger consume us, but to teach us about how to access our inner strength, how to access the messages, the wisdom of our body, and how to access inner peace through finding our strength. On your next inhale, sweep that right arm up, coming all the way around to land on the left knee. And then drawing the spine and the body back through center, bringing the hands to the shoulders, and rounding forward, tucking the chin towards the chest, and just squeezing the shoulders. We're giving ourselves a little love here, a little hug. We're also opening up the back side of the shoulders. Release the hands, bringing them behind you. Bend the elbows, draw the shoulder blades together. Shine the heart center skyward. Maybe your gaze comes skyward, opening up the front side of the throat and the heart center, creating a clear channel here for compassionate expression. Straighten the arms, walking the fingertips back towards the hips. We'll circle sweep the arms up again, reaching skyward, lengthening the spine. Exhale, right hand to the left knee, left fingertips to the mat. Lengthening on the inhale, and the exhale, deepening maybe a little bit here. Bringing our gaze towards our left shoulder. Taking a couple breaths, settling in. Let the legs just rest. Let go of any tension here. Relax the jaw. See if you can relax all the tiny muscles in the face, around the eyes, around the forehead. On your next inhale, circle sweep that left arm forward, all the way to the right knee, rounding through the spine again. You can grab the shoulders if you like, or leave the hands on the knees, whatever feels good here. Just thinking about releasing any tension from the shoulders, the back of the neck. Slowly unwind, coming all the way up. We'll bring the legs out to a V shape wherever you want them to be. It could be wider, they could be close together, whatever feels good to your body here, as always. You may want to bring your blocks close by, totally optional here. Um, we're going to again root down through the base of our spine. So you may need to move some of the little fleshy bits out from under you to feel more in contact with your sit bones, or your sit bones more in contact with the earth, I should say. Then roll the shoulders back, lengthen the spine, drawing the crown skyward, dropping the shoulders down away from the ears. We're going to keep that length in the spine and just walk the hands out. Notice when you begin to feel sensation, maybe in the back of the legs or the lower back, wherever that is, then you can have the option to either stay here with the spine long or to round forward, turning your gaze inwards, rounding the spine, maybe walking out a little bit further, maybe not. Maybe you want to let the head hang heavy or come to blocks or some type of support that you might have, a pillow or something at home. And having the feet, the toes flexed towards the body. So we're really trying to lightly engage the back side of the leg. And here, maybe thinking about anything that was released from the hips today, just envisioning that energy moving out through the legs, through the soles of the feet, just grounding out and releasing any of that energy that you'd like to let go of. Each exhale, softening into the posture a little more. On your inhale, walk the hands back. If you've rounded your spine here, all the way up, releasing any props to the side and coming back into a comfortable seated position. We'll bring our hands to the heart space in some way. Taking a cleansing breath in through the nose. Exhaling, sighing it out. Again, in through the nose. Exhale, release. And just begin to let go of anything that did or didn't happen today. Just finding gratitude in this moment for our bodies moving through this practice in any way whatsoever, for this time to come to our mat and to step away from our responsibilities and the pulls and all the directions, the busy world around us. Taking time to pause, to reflect, and to cultivate this relationship with our body as a messenger, with emotions as messengers, signaling to us that we need care in some way. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice this beautiful Saturday morning. May you walk in loving kindness. May you share your unique gifts. And may you remember your true essence is love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.